What happened in the second half to begin it, Coach? Huge turnaround, obviously. Scored 22-2 or something like that. What happened then?
I'd like to say that it was some adjustments we made at halftime, but it really wasn't. I mean, we just had to keep doing what we had planned on doing, and certainly that's running the floor. Did a good job of getting some defensive rebounds, and then Mason's finding people down the floor like she has so many times this year. So, I think it was just more, when that ball goes in, it's an easier game, and some shots started falling. Julia Dahman hit a really big shot early in the second half, and Mason hit a couple threes, and we got some runouts, and Kelsey had a really good game as well, hitting some threes. So I think it was just keeping at it, and that's kind of, with our pressure defense, eventually it seems like teams wear down, and fortunately that seemed to be what happened.
Mason, Byron was just in here and they praised your team, but they also said that they thought maybe at halftime they had you as a team a little frustrated. Is that fair?
Yeah, I'd say. I mean, it was one of the first times all season we've been down at half, so they definitely took us out of our game in the first half. But
what do you do then to in a rare situation like that? What do you do to come out and do what this team is able to do?
We just tried to stay confident and do what we thought we were good at throughout the season. So we just tried to stick to our game and just kind of get everybody ready to go.
What impressed you about Byron, Coach?
Certainly Lee is a tremendous player, and by far their most well-known player. But I was impressed with, it's certainly we've never seen him in person this year. We always exchange. We're supposed to exchange section finals, so we saw their game on tape versus Stewartville, and when you see their guards in person, they're better than they look on tape. So I was certainly impressed with their guards. We knew that one could shoot the ball, and she certainly did. And those 4 threes that she hit were really big for them and brought them back.
Kelsey, you guys nervous at halftime? You're not used to being down, and you were down 7 or whatever it was. What's the thought at halftime, and how nervous are you?
We definitely were nervous, but I think we used that nervousness coming out in the second half to bring us a lot of motivation and get up right away.
Did you play harder in the second half? It looked like you did as a group.
We did, yeah. We knew that they'd probably be a little bit more tired and we would come out ready to run again, so.
Mason, can you talk about the game plan to try to defend against Lee? Who's doing what and how is that working?
We tried to have either Michaela or Julia Dahman behind her, just playing behind her, and then a help coming from one of the opposite wings, and then we were going to try to rotate through the 3 guards and then just have different people try to get in front of her just to slow her down a little bit. So that was the plan.
What was it like to go against her? You've not gone against anybody like that before, I wouldn't imagine. What's it like?
She's obviously a very good player, so we just had to honor her and know that she was going to get some shots over us, but we just had to try to limit her offensive rebounds and just try to keep the pressure out on their guards to maybe not allow them to get it into her as much.
Is that what you did in the second half? Limited them a little bit with their passes? Was that the difference?
I'd say a little bit, maybe, yeah.
What about what she brings defensively? Was there some intimidation happening? Because she was throwing a lot of stuff back at you.
Yeah, I know she had a lot of blocks in the first half, so she was blocking some of our shots, but we just tried to kind of keep going at her, I guess.
Did you guys need layups, Coach? You need some layups to sort of turn this thing around?
Yeah, a big part of our game is beating girls off the dribble and then either our guards finishing at the basket or bouncing it to our post, and that certainly was not happening in the first half. So, we just don't see that size. We tried to simulate it a little bit. We had a couple guys come in from our boys team to play us a little bit, and I think that did very good. But anyway, no. Again, I think the runouts that we had in that second half when she was trailing the play certainly was big for us.
How'd you get them then and you didn't get them in the first half?
It's a good question. I think you just keep at it.
Just keep going.
Just keep at it, and I thought we were running the floor pretty good. Excuse me, the first half, but when someone like that blocks a couple shots, maybe you get a little bit tentative, and I think in the second half we just came out and boy, I tell you what, I just love the toughness of this team. And I'll take this team. I guess our slogan is anyone, anytime, any place, and I'm very thrilled that we get to play on Friday night.
Kelsey, can you tell us, being one of the senior captains, you have a ninth grader out there like Michaela Dahman, and to start the second half, you were warming up. What did you say to her to bring a smile to her face and to get her going?
I told her, I said, she's going to hit some shots on you. She's taller than you, and I know you're not used to that. She's used to blocking shots, being the blocker, and I told her, just keep getting her out of the lane, and you're doing good. Keep doing what you're doing.
Mason, in the first half, the stat was 4 for 15, okay? How do you overcome that, though? Because you're a scorer, you're a shooter, but what do you go through mentally then if you're not shooting the ball well?
I guess I just tried to stay confident. I know my team and coaches really helped and just said, you got this, just keep shooting, you know you can do it. So I just tried to stay confident and look to pass up the floor to my team so they could get shots too.
Now, again, going back to halftime, though, I know Coach Bergman, he's not a yeller, he's not a screamer, but what did you talk about at halftime? What did the players hear?
We just knew we had to keep doing what we were doing. We had to push second half. We had to come with motivation and keep doing what we we're doing.
But again, Coach Bergman, as you look at these girls, you have confidence that that's going to happen, right?
You bet. I knew it was going to be a battle. I mean, different predicament at halftime, and certainly when you come down to a state tournament, you expect, and these teams are fantastic. So it's not surprising that you're down at halftime. That's something that you need to be prepared for. Certainly the start in the second half was huge. If they'd have got the first couple baskets, that would have been a little bit different story maybe. But certainly our start, and give my coaching staff a lot of credit. They kept on me to keep switching defenses on them. I think that played a part in that second half surge.
You two being seniors now, you've been here since ninth grade. Every year you're here. How does that play into just the experience of playing in a game like this at a venue like this, like the Target Center?
I just think that we knew we had to kind of keep our cool and just stay confident and play how we wanted to play.
I agree. Like we're gonna see good teams down here. Like the best are down here, so we knew that we just gotta keep our heads up and everything will be good in the end.
You know, Kelsey, your sister Tori, how aggressive is she on a scale of 1 to 10?
It broke the scale.
But when she does that, does that kind of spark on the team, or describe that feeling when she gets two hands on the ball and she can rip it away from anybody?
I think it definitely gets everyone excited. Like all of us, like, okay, here we go, we got this. Tori's got the ball, here we go. So I think we all just get excited when she gets it.
Just to touch on, too, some of your other teammates, can you highlight, say, somebody like Kenzie Schmeezing and what she brings to this team?
She definitely is always playing hard, always running the floor, and just doing a lot of the little things that sometimes go unnoticed. So she definitely plays so hard and just leaves it all out there every single game.
And Julia?
Julia, she did really good this game. Like, I know she, like, way shorter, again, with Michaela, but they pushed her out. They did the best they could, and I think they really shut her down in the second half.
Well, my only prediction was, and it was right, you didn't get the jump ball to start the game to score right away. She's a little big, isn't she? Okay.
Mason
Right.
and Kelsey, one quick question. You know, what was it like being on the court during that flurry in the start of the second half where you're jumping passes? Are you seeing different things that you didn't see in the first half when we got a lot of those turnovers that led to easy baskets?
I think in the first half we probably could have done that too. I just don't think we were as aggressive. So I think second half we came out more aggressive and just like how we usually play, and I think that helped a lot.